How good is the Sony A7 IV for hybrid shooting? Just like the A7 III, I think that one of the biggest selling points of the A7 IV is its appeal for hybrid shooting. For a full-time fashion creative like me who does both photography and videography, it's so fundamental that I'm able to seamlessly switch between from photography to videography on the same shoot. And quite often my clients will hire me out as both the photographer and the videographer, and for you as a creative, this can have some real benefits. The first one is that you can easily double your income as your job spec now has 2 roles. And secondly, your appeal, your brand, your talents now have room to grow into new opportunities and access that you just might never have had just by doing only photography. But despite all these benefits, is it really effective to be a hybrid shooter, especially with the Sony A7 IV? Is it really seamless in its ability to switch from one mode to another? And are there any drawbacks to time saving, or is it just better to hire out a separate videographer? And today I'll be answering all these questions by taking you with me on my client's shoot for Sneak Energy, where I had to create both videography and photography content in my city of Manchester. Today's content focuses around the blizzard flavour, so our goal was to capture very urban sceneries that complement the look of the iced out flavour. Now, compared to the Sony A7 III, this camera actually has some new features that even the A7 III doesn't have, and that is this little flick switch over here, which allows you to seamlessly switch between photo and video and slow and quick mode. And believe me when I say it's seamless, it's pretty seamless. There's no huge delay between switching modes thanks to the faster new processor, which saves a lot of time when you're on set or location shooting, and that really helps when every second counts. On top of this, you can save even more time with your custom C1, 2 and 3 modes, which is now available on both photo and video mode. That means when you switch to photo mode, you can have 3 custom settings, and when you switch to video mode, you can have 3 custom settings. And that just goes to show how much attention was put into customizing this camera. And for hybrid shooting, this is so essential for time saving, because it means I don't have to worry about my settings each time I switch from one mode to another. And for this shoot, I rigged up my camera initially for videography. That means it's caged up with the top handle, field monitor, and a few other things which help me record the EVF so you can see what I see when I'm shooting. Now, this might not be the most visually appealing way of hybrid shooting, but for the kind of content I make, I don't always require a gimbal. In fact, a lot of my clients like the very handheld approach to videography, so this rig is perfect for my needs. However, there are some drawbacks to using this rig, especially in photography mode, and that is the heavier weight. However, if you prefer to use a gimbal or tripod, I do have a solution for this. This is the FallCam quick release plate. Once you attach this to your camera, you can seamlessly switch between both photo and video very quickly and still keep your form size small and lightweight. One thing I really appreciate about my hybrid setup is the fact that I really enjoy using the field monitor for photography. Sony are always very notorious for cheaping out on the EVF and display screens, and the A7 III was very notorious for this. And even though the A7 IV has had a nice bump in quality for the EVF and display, it really just helps having that extra real estate on a field monitor to just be able to see more clearly what you're shooting. Again, I just want to say it's a very unconventional way of shooting, wouldn't recommend it for everyone, but very time saving and efficient for handheld hybrid shooting, especially for me. After spending about half a day photo shooting and filming the content for my client, this is what we made. So if you're still having second doubts about this camera's ability for hybrid shooting, then take it from me. It is very reliable. The team was very happy with the final content, and so was the client. Now I will give a disclaimer about hybrid shooting, especially if you're someone who's very new to hybrid shooting and you're just starting out. It can get very overwhelming doing both tasks at once. So before jumping straight into a client job to do both with this camera, definitely give yourself time to adjust to the process of doing both things at once. I've been doing hybrid shooting for 3 years now, and even though I'm quite confident in my abilities to do 2 things at once, there are certain jobs where I will always recommend a separate photographer or videographer to my clients because the scale of the shoot is just a lot bigger and requires more hands on deck and attention. But for the situations where you can manage hybrid shooting, I think this camera has all the capabilities and more to just be a great hybrid camera. So once again, thank you so much for all the love and support on my recent videos. I have a really cool video dropping next week exploring more of the color science of the A7 IV, especially for photography. Definitely make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss that video. Now I'll leave you with some more behind the scene adventures from today's shoot. And I'll see you on the next one.